Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to the Crimson Diamond. So, last time we figured out where Evan most likely is. He's probably in the garnet mines, and Jack and Nathan and the Ranger are all going there without us, and we need to convince them that we should go with them. But first, Nancy wants to check in on the other people in the estate, which at this point means Kimi and Albert, and I guess Nessa and Corvus, but who really cares what they're doing? Let's be honest. I don't know where they could be at this point. I mean, Kimi is probably sleeping. She's always sleeping at this time. And Albert's most likely in his room. The last we saw Nessa and Corvus, though, they were rummaging through Margot's things, and I'm sure they're done with that by now. So I'm just going to check everywhere. I mean, maybe they're in their rooms too. Maybe it's just that time. Oh! Uh-oh. The big blue trunk's lid is up and the padlock hanging open. I wonder what was stored in here. You peer into the blue trunk. There's some old threadbare linens lining the interior and obscuring the trunk's bottom. But by methodically feeling around inside, you discover a bullet and a blasting cap. Ooh. My father was in construction. I know a blasting cap when I see one, but why would Albert put these in here? Jack let Albert store his things in this trunk. He wanted to lock this all away. The same as how he demanded to stay in Jack's room, the only bedroom with a lock. Seems like Albert was concerned about keeping his secrets. And he's armed? Uh-oh. Maybe we shouldn't ask Albert about that. Maybe I should take a closer look at Albert's room. I was planning to do that anyway. What's happened here? Albert's room is a mess. Clothes are hanging haphazardly in the wardrobe. The wastepaper basket is stuffed full of papers. And all of his luggage is gone. It's in disarray. Crumpled papers are stuffed into his basket and overflowing onto the floor. Clothes are scattered in the closet and his luggage is gone. It looks like he left in a hurry. Search cabinet. Search cupboard. Still has some clothes softly draped on some hangers. Examine the clothes. You methodically check all the pockets in the garments that Albert left behind. In the last jacket pocket, you find a train's ticket stub. All right, let's... Oh. Take stub. You take the ticket stub. A train ticket stub that Albert left in his jacket pocket. You peer more closely at the train's ticket stub. The stub is from Albert's journey up to Crimson, but this is for a riding coach, the same as me and Kimi. He said he was in the first-class car. Albert lied to us. I didn't see him in our car. Was he concealing himself? Uh-oh. Thankfully, I've got my field kit up in the luggage rack. Do you see the old brown leather suitcase? He's behind us with the newspaper. Yes, I see it. What does the field kit contain? Among other things, the field kit includes hardness picks. These are the most important tool of all for my work in Crimson. So the field kit that Albert was using was ours all along, I bet. They have tips for different hardnesses, ranging from 2 to 9 on the Mohs scale. The hardness pick with the number 9 tip is indispensable for this trip. It will scratch just about anything, except for diamonds. I'm so glad I have these tools with me. Otherwise, I'd be up a creek without a paddle. Indeed. Good luck with your work in Crimson. Thanks. I can't wait to get started. Oh, he was totally listening in. People slowly getting off the train, I guess? I don't think I'm supposed to interact with this. It seems like a cutscene. Sleeping under his newspaper. Now it's just us and the newspaper man. Oh. Oh, evil Mr. Monopoly behind us. while we're sleeping, he's gonna snatch it. Oh. And sneak into first class so that his story checks out. Oh no! He threw it off the train! And smoked about it. Oh. Oh, that's the still from the scene that plays when you open the game. I never show it because it goes by so fast before it goes to the menu. It was Albert. He was in the train car after all. Interesting that still was important enough to put it in the very beginning of the game. I remember the smell of those cigars, the ones he's been smoking in the lodge this whole time. And he got rid of my field kit to obstruct my investigation. Okay. You see some crumpled paper in the wastepaper basket. They don't appear to have anything written on them. There's a strip of telegraph tape lying just outside of the wastepaper basket on the carpeted floor. Take tape. You pick up the strip of telegraph paper. The telegraph tape reads as follows. Carl L. proceed to Sue Locks with package. Deliver package by 3 a.m. Await further instructions. Carl. Well done in crimson. Well done in crimson? What could that mean? And who on earth is Carl L.? Alright, what other notes do we have? Who is Carl L.? Nothing noteworthy on the table. What about the drawer? Nothing interesting in the drawer. Is there something under the bed? A large red cylinder seems to have rolled partially under the bed. Good eye me. I saw this and I was like, that seems suspicious. Uh-oh. I think this is a stick of dynamite. Yup, it's a stick of dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Dynamite is not a standard piece of mineralogical equipment. Albert stored blasting caps in the blue trunk and dynamite in his luggage, it seems. I'm starting to think he's not a mineralogist at all, and I'm starting to think I know who blew up the bridge. It's not in our inventory, is it? Can we put down dynamite? I don't I don't want to be carrying it with me. Haven't you ever seen what's on the carpet? Haven't you ever seen Lost? Do you remember that scene where the guy is like talking about how dangerous dynamite is, but he's gesticulating with it too hard with his hands and like holding dynamite at the same time and he blows himself up? I had to watch selected episodes of Lost for 8th grade English class, don't ask. And we watched that episode and it traumatized me. So the whole class laughed and I cried. Is there something on the floor? The red and blue is one of your favorite color combinations. Great, okay. Okay, they're worn down, so that's not... This looked like a substance of some sort. I think I'm getting the picture here. Albert isn't who he says he is. I believe he's headed to the Sioux Locks to sabotage them with explosives. I found a bullet and blasting caps in the blue trunk. Albert is probably armed, and is fairly well acquainted with how to use explosives, seeing as he knew to store his dynamite and blasting caps separately. This doesn't bode well. And I think he tossed my luggage out of the train to eliminate my field kit, so I couldn't interfere with his sham field work. He was in the train car with me and Kimi. His train ticket stub proves that, and I do remember the smell of his particular brand of cigar. I need to head to the carriage house to tell Jack, Nathan, and Ranger Murdoch. Should I check on other people first? Corvus is not here. Can I talk to Kimi? Kimi is asleep. Okay. I feel like this is important information that she needs to know. Are these two still rummaging? Marco told me that Nessa's ruby brooch is hidden somewhere in here. Nessa tore this room apart looking for it. I wonder if it's still here. Delicates. It's not there. The brooch isn't here. A row of boots are on the lowest shelf. They are leather and look more suitable to tramping around in the woods, although you note that Margot couldn't resist a slight heel on all of them. Can I inspect the boots? You don't find the ruby brooch. Inspect shoes. Corvus already looked through these thoroughly. I'm not surprised that I can't find the ruby brooch here. What about the mirror? Okay. What would we call this? Look, ottoman? You can't use ottoman in this game. Okay. Search wardrobe. You wrap your knuckles lightly on the walls of the wardrobe, listening for hollow sounds that would indicate hidden compartments. Nothing hidden in here. Ah. Examine clothes. What about these bags? When Margot stirs her purses, it appears she empties some of their contents. The ruby brooch isn't in these purses. They aren't sewn into the linings or tucked away in any hidden pockets. Examine dress. Okay. Examine hats. Examine yellow hat. Maybe they weren't tall enough. Maybe one day I'll own a hat as fine as this one. You can see why Nessa didn't bother inspecting all the hats. They're up high and hard to reach, and the mannequin heads are surprisingly solid and heavy, not hollow, leaving no room for hidden items. Well, the fact that we can inspect them individually bodes well. It's a lot like yours, except newer and made of finer wool. Merely shaking the mannequin head is all that would be required to check if the brooch is balanced under one of the hats. Shake. Green hat. Okay. Don't have any water. Okay. Examine blue hat. The red silk rose on the blue hat is exquisite. The stitching is minute and even. Your arms are starting to ache from straining them to their limits to reach the hats. You wonder if your efforts will prove fruitful. You're starting to doubt it. That sounds ominous enough that I'm gonna save. Will we die from holding hat? Will this kill us? Examine teal hat. With a grunt of effort, you wrest the last mannequin head down from the shelf and examine the hat closely. Oh! Pinned to the inside of the last hat you inspect, you find Nessa's ruby brooch. Margot had cleverly concealed the pinned part of the brooch between the hat and its band. You carefully unpin the ruby brooch from the hat before returning the mannequin head and hat to the top of the shelf. I'm glad I found it, but what do I do with it now? Guess I better find Nessa and give it back. Should we? Rubies have a Mohs hardness of 9, one of the hardest minerals around. Besides diamonds, of course. You admire the rich, much-coveted pigeon blood deep red hue of the ruby mounted in the brooch. You detect faint rutile inclusions. But the gem is eye clean. That means the inclusions aren't visible to the naked eye. The inclusions are also called silk. Some of these faint lines might not be inclusions after all. They look a bit oily. Dust brooch. 2 clear fingerprints. You've revealed 2 clear fingerprints on the ruby cabochon. You compare them to the fingerprints you've obtained from everyone in the lodge. One of these fingerprints belongs to Margot, which comes as no surprise. She admitted to stealing Nessa's brooch. The other fingerprint belongs to Jack. I should ask him about this. Okay? We did some good investigating in these 2 rooms. I guess Nessa's in her room? No. Is she hanging around outside somewhere? Okay, the ranger's not here, not surprising. I'm guessing there's nothing for us up on the balconies. I guess we'll just look everywhere we can outside until we find Nessa and Corvus. Because we do want to check with everyone in the house. No, not L. Silly keyboard. Alright, let's go the long way around, because the carriage house is where we want to go last. Oh, nothing interesting in here, nothing new in the smokehouse. Nope. Nothing new down here. Or here, or in the woods. Or here. I'm just being real thorough. Thorough is good. Okay. Nothing interesting over here. Or here. Let's look at the gazebo. Where could Nessa and Corvus be? Nowhere. Okay. Oh! What's this? The double doors have been thrown wide open. Oh no, did they steal the carriage? You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed. Jack, what's going on? The automobile's gone, Nancy. I can see that. Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it. I think Albert's still in the automobile. You hear a rumbling. Is that Thunder? Nope, that's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go. Right. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff. Decently well? It'll be fine, Nancy. Just hang on tight. Okay, so they're just letting me come. I'm glad for that. You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine. Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry we couldn't meet under better circumstances. Oh, look, we really are just hanging off the side. I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified. Evan's in danger. I will help my friend. We can figure out the rest later. I will safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation, I promise. Let's deal with that later. I think Albert's still in the automobile. You do? What makes you think so, Nancy? Albert's luggage is gone and his room is a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage, and Jack said it was very heavy. It sure was. There's no way he could have handled that luggage himself, unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving it to the Sioux Locks to bomb it. Kimi had a map with the Sioux Locks circled. I think that had something to do with Albert leaving so suddenly. He must have thought she was onto his sabotage plan, but Kimi told me she was interested in seeing the Sioux Locks as a tourist. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy. And his name might actually be Carl L. Carl L? Where did you hear that name? I found this telegraph and stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And I found a bullet and a blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed and dangerous. Fantastic detective work, Nancy. I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat. Oh, also, I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk. And he's knowledgeable with explosives. He was storing the blasting caps and dynamite separately. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous. Got it. I'll keep all of that in mind when we confront him, Nancy. Thank you. Please be careful. I will. I'll tell you how it goes when we meet again. Mr. Cardinal, can you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the Sioux Locks as soon as possible. Of course, but first to the garnet mines. They're closer. Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert will take some hours to arrive at his destination. Nathan stops his automobile as close to the garnet mine as he dares. The ground is rugged, and any roads leading to and from the area have fallen into disrepair many years ago. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for Evan could be dire. Oh, they're here. Makes sense. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. Excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. Oh, dang. We're at the mine. The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Nessa and Corvus took Evan. Oh no, my theory is wrong. Nancy, wait a minute. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention, this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful. Chapter 6, Confrontations. How are we going to get in? Dunno, but I'm gonna grab that shovel and start digging. We have dynamite. Jack starts digging at the rubble at the mine entrance. We don't have a blasting cap, though. I've got to help Jack with this. Alright, game has auto-saved. Gain entrance into the mine. If you can figure out a better way, I'm all ears. Otherwise, come help me dig. Let's ask him about the brooch while we're here. Look, Jack, I found Nessa's ruby brooch. Huh, well, how do you like that? You're pretty good at finding things, Nancy. Want to know what else I found, Jack? Your fingerprint on Nessa's ruby brooch. Can you think of any reason why I'd find that? Okay, I helped Margot hide the brooch. It was the least I could do, seeing as Nessa probably killed her. Nessa probably murdered Margot, right? Or at least poisoned her? That's what you figure, right? Yes, that's what I think. Margot was telling me that Nessa had it out for her. She didn't tell me why she thought so. But it was easy to see, wasn't it? Nessa thought Margot would get the lodge and land instead of her. So yeah, when Margot came to me to help her hide the brooch, I did just that. I couldn't hide it in my room because Albert's using it. Couldn't hide it in the room I'm sharing with Corvus, too risky. So I hid the brooch in Margot's giant closet, reached up high into her hats and hid it inside one of them. Margot couldn't have reached up there, she was even shorter than you. We were going to sell it and use the money to help with the lodge's upkeep. So as Nessa could at least indirectly help fund that, something she should have been doing anyway. But now, Margot's dead, Evan's missing, and Nessa and Corvus right in the middle of all of it. Things are coming apart. I don't see much point in anything anymore. You keep it. You found it fair and square. Pay your way through school or something. Make something good come of all this. Okay, Jack. I'll hold on to it. For now. Okay, let's look around. The abandoned garnet mine looks stark and desolate in the moonlight. Debris and forgotten equipment litter the area. There is rubble completely obstructing the entrance. The rubble does look fresh. It could be that Nessa and Corvus did enter the mine from here. Jack is here. Okay. Look. Equipment. Piles of rubble. Plunger detonator. A reel of wire. Take wire. This wire would be useful if I could rig up an explosive to clear the rubble. But I don't think I have the necessary materials, and I don't see everything I need here. Maybe there was something back at the lodge. Disclaimer, the developer of this game assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in any processes depicted, particularly dangerous ones involving explosives. Do not attempt anything in this game in real life. You know what? I'm going back here. I'll do everything I did, but I'm gonna take the blasting cap while I'm at it. Okay. Because I think that's what I'm missing. I mean, we're gonna be dumber than Albert. And, store our dynamite and blasting caps together. Alright. So we have the dynamite and the blasting caps. Kids would sometimes play with them. Not me, but other kids. Okay. Oh, oily smudge? Sure. Fingerprint belongs to Albert. Okay. Oh, I need to dust the brooch. And compare fingerprints. I'm doing everything I did before. Alright. We're gonna... I don't think there's anything else for us to find, so I'm gonna head straight for the carriage house, skip all the cutscenes, and go back. Alright, here we go. Alright. And just to make sure we did everything that we already did. Okay. Now if we take the wire. Okay. Yes, okay, she said something different. So we took the blasting cap. We have everything we need. Whew. Thank God for save scumming. Plunger detonator has been weathered by the elements and looks very worn, but it might still work. There's only one way to find out. Give dynamite to Jack. Now you keep that. Okay. Put cap on dynamite. Okay, I'm gonna save in case I mess something up. Okay. I don't really know how we use this stuff. How we put it together. It should work. If I insert a blasting cap into the dynamite, then the wire to the blasting cap. Then cut the wire and insert that end into the plunger detonator. That could work. You flush with pride, realizing that your childhood curiosity and your father's job as a dynamiter for construction companies has suddenly become useful. Dad would be proud. Alright. Okay. Insert cap into dynamite. You carefully insert the blasting cap into the dynamite. Insert wire into cap. You stick the end of the wire into the blasting cap, which has been inserted into the dynamite. Cut wire. I'm all set. I just need to cut the wire from the reel and insert the cut end into the plunger detonator. Wire cutters? Not there. Not there. Obtain a pair of wire cutters. Would you happen to have any wire cutters, Jack? I do, actually. Perfect. May I borrow those? Lucky break. Sure thing. Here you go, Nancy. Wire cutters. Thanks. Alright. Cut wire. Using the wire cutters, you snip the wire from the reel. Oh, take plunger. You take the plunger detonator. I have a plunger detonator, wire, blasting cap, and a stick of dynamite. You insert the wire into the plunger detonator. The explosive is rigged. It's time to set it off. I've managed to cobble together an explosive to help clear the rubble. I need to warn him first. Oh well, that could work. Set it up when you're ready. I'll keep shoveling at this rubble just in case it doesn't work. Place dynamite. Place explosive. Okay. What do we have? What exactly would we call this? Set explosive. That's the verb we needed. Jack, I'm ready to set the explosive charge. Got it, Nancy. Give me a second. I'm gonna leave the screen. Ready. You carefully place the rigged dynamite close to the rubble. Okay, we're all set. Take plunger to rock. I need to move it far away. There we go. I've taken the plunger and placed it out of harm's way. Fortunately, that wire is long enough. Alright. Push plunger. Here goes nothing. That was a bit anticlimactic. Well, it was only one stick of dynamite after all. Yeah, one stick can only do so much. It looks like it did a little. Now what? Enter the mine? Alright, I can fit through this opening. Nancy, this is really dangerous. Let's widen this hole some more so I can go too. Eva's in danger. There's no time to lose. You keep working on the rubble and follow when you can. Okay, Nancy, you're the boss. You be careful, you hear? I will, I promise. Oh boy. Oh boy, that is a teeny hole. Wait, before you go, it's gonna be dark as night in there. Darker even. Take this lantern. Jack lights the lantern and hands it to you. I've got another one, don't you worry. Huh, you're not the only one with big pockets. Good luck, kiddo. You're an adventure game protagonist, too. You're like the hero of another story, Jack. Thanks, Jack. You squeeze through the small hole in the rubble and enter the mine. Oh, wow. Seeing the lantern's light reflected brilliantly on the thousands of red crystals embedded in the walls, you're suddenly reminded of why you traveled to Crimson in the first place. If the situation wasn't so dire, you'd be dazzled by this cave of natural wonders. Instead, the red gleams look like blood is beating on every surface, just waiting to fall. You shiver. Toronto feels like it's 1,000,000 kilometers and 1,000,000 years away. Oh dear, it's so dark in here. I need to figure out which way Nessa and Corvus have taken Mr. Richards. If indeed they came this way at all. Alright, game is autosave, so I think we're gonna try and find Evan and his captors next time. Look at that. Man, I really love, like, ultra simple pixel graphics because you can really do a lot with them and people don't really give it much credit. And I think this is even more beautiful than if it was some hyper-realistic cave. Gosh, that's lovely. Alright, but we're gonna go looking next time for Evan. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more The Crimson Diamond.